Good morning. So here we are, Tuesday connection, total, revitalize your total energy. Cheers. Good morning. I love being in here every Tuesday. It holds me accountable for getting out of my morning comfort zone. So welcome in. Oh, that's a good shake. What is on your plate this morning? I'm going to talk about that, but it's going to be the conclusion part. Good morning. It's going to be the conclusion part of our discussion because I'm really going to talk about relationships. And it has to do with somebody that I was talking to yesterday, and that they're in a work situation that does not serve them at all. Good morning, Monica. Got a little hair there. Don't want people to watch the video and just think of that. And this is a tricky one because when we work somewhere or we have relationships that really aren't working for us, say you're a couple and you're in a community where the relationship really isn't, the relationships around you are not really working for you, but maybe your partner really likes these people, or it could be work, or it could be that whenever you go somewhere that you just don't feel like you fit in. It feels like something just kind of rubs you in a way that doesn't feel very healthy. And so let's go in there and talk about that. And I'll give you an example of the discussion I had with a new client that just came in. And let's connect that with health. Let's connect that with how important that is. Because when you start on this journey, or you need to be reminded, as been going on this journey, how much control we have over what we're feeling relative to the people out there that like to pull and push your triggers. Because if you're in let me go a little bit farther with this. When you're in a situation where you're around people that are not so mentally healthy, like they like to watch when you're down and so they can push you down even more, and they may not even fully consciously understand that they're doing it. And so what do you do instead of feeling like you're stuck in a situation? And we'll call it a victim state. I don't like that term because this feels yucky on me. Like if I feel like I'm a victim, like, oh my gosh, I'm in the victim state. But that feeling that you can't get out of it and you're stuck, I'm going to bring some tools together and let's connect food with that. Isn't that odd? We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to connect it with food. Wow, that's really weird, but we're going to do it. And we're going to connect it with food being your medicine. So let's start from the beginning. Take a deep breath in. Get your morning going. Got to give yourself a little tap on the forehead. This is just to kind of open up that space. Take a deep breath in. All right. Yesterday, I was talking with somebody that I think it's normal that we deal with this, but I believe that it's unacceptable to be in this situation, but sometimes we find ourselves in those situations day in, day out, especially if it's at our work. The person I was talking to yesterday, no names because I want to make sure I protect her, but she was talking about where she works and that situation where somebody yells at her workplace. And it was one of the most terrible things to hear, and I know that my husband has been in that situation, and I saw it just totally bring him down to where almost like shaking him because he was in it every single day. So the person I was talking to was speaking to that. But she is more in the holistic world. So I'm going to give you some tactics that she did that I actually haven't thought about doing. And for Jeff at this time, my husband at this time, it was, I didn't know there were these tools out there. I just knew I saw my husband kind of falling apart. And of course, I have my own story about being in corporate, but let's focus on those two stories. And when you're in a situation where somebody is yelling or that you can feel this real negative undercurrent vibe, how can you protect yourself? I'm going to go into food in a moment, but I'll tell you what my new client was talking about is that she uses herbs and essential oils to help combat off any of that negativity. So she's pretty holistic. So if you're that holistic, you'll get this like real fast, or you want to find out more about this stuff. Because there's essential oils out there that take off some of that negativity so you're not absorbing it. And as a health coach and understanding deep stressful situations that I get in with clients where I'm working with them and they're crying and they're having a very difficult time as they get their breakthrough for the coaching session, you have to learn how to bubble things up and kind of release. But if you're in a situation every single day and it just builds and builds, and then it grabs you, and it grabs onto your organs and your energy and your stress. And this is the situation that she's in. So she uses essential oils to bring in more of her insides of what she cares about, taking care of her health, but it's still affecting her. And she has a process where she takes out like any negativity in her area. So I know people that do room clearing with that also. So from there, she comes to me and says, after all this, I am not feeling good. It's been years I've been in this situation. Now it's really getting to me. So she's looking for a new tool, and she could have been looking for new tools earlier, but she's been by herself. She hasn't had a coach or a mentor, and this is where it can really get you, because you can go down that rabbit hole and get lost there and not know how to get out. So I started discussing, like sugar levels. How was she eating? And I found out that she was eating a lot of sugar. And this is because she was exhausted. She hasn't been sleeping for years. She's been struggling and having this terrible, terrible feeling about life and being stuck at her work. Have you ever been feeling like you're stuck in a situation in your relationships and it's crappy? And this could even be with being with a boyfriend or girlfriend and it not working out, and you're still with them trying to figure things out. So what I was talking to her about is the next steps. So what the new tool is, and this could work for you also, is really looking at what's on your plate. Yeah, food. Because what you're feeding in your body is going to chemically translate emotionally too. So as my new client was going through her process, now she's at the point where it was working for a while, but she needed something new. And so we started talking about what was on her plate, and she said heck of a lot of sugar. So I go right in there realizing that there needs to be an adjustment and a process to help her. And so I called the plate plan phasing and looking at what she has been eating and to shift it, to add a little bit more color to it. To add a little bit, I can call it fiber, because that's usually when you add more vegetables, but adding some more color to it, more color of the vegetables. And it'll help with her sleeping patterns because it's a new thing in her body. So if you have not been taking care of yourself food-wise, this is a great new tool, I'll call it a tool, that you can pick up. So really watch what you're doing, because that may be your next step in managing over your stress. So when you're eating healthier, it shifts your body chemically, and then you can show up differently. You can feel stronger. Your willpower feels strong and being able to handle things more. As you do that, it allows you to walk in, take a breath, and say, okay, I got this. And you're always reaching for new tools or going back and pulling out some old tools that really work for us. But changing and shifting is very important. So as you do that, then each day you get stronger and stronger. And it really, if you're truthful about your situation and that this is the situation you're in, there is something you can do. Make sure you pull yourself out of that victim state that just does not feel good inside and out. I hope you enjoyed this, because this is something that is interesting, talking about food and talking about being stuck with relationships or in that moment being stuck. Perfect timing too, because I have a detox that's starting up. First full week in October. If you're ready for a reset, looking for some new tools, you're going to get mindset tools. Every single day you get 2 to 4 minute video that just helps you in your mindset. So if you like the Tuesday Connection, this is going to be really up your alley. And then you're going to look at your food. And the detox, I call it gentle cleanse really, is for you to get connected with how your plate looks now, how it can be better, then how to get the herbs in that really heal inflammation, work with your digestion, start bringing down inflammation. And then you go into the detox the third week, which is really, really good, clean eating. And then you start implementing things back in and kind of test to see what that's all about. And that's what it's about. So if you are ready to start something and bring in some new tools, give me a holler, message me, put something down below. I would love to hear from you. You have an insightful, wonderful, high energy day. Make sure you're bringing freedom into your cash flow, freedom into your energy. Mwah. Love you.